Hello, everybody. This is Ian from the Sports Card Side Hustle. I just want to come to you with a quick episode and chat today about the alternatives in the alternative investment market of sports card collecting and investing. So, everybody that kind of is in the market or in the hobby of sports cards realizes that it's also there's an investment market and there's in the financials and investing to it, where now things are charted, things are tracked. Sports cards is an alternative investment market. It's not the stock market. It's not where we put our retirement income per se. However, when you go to look at certain things about the hobby, if we flip over here real quick, you can chart sports cards just the same way that we say if we go to indexes. They have indexes now. So you can chart sports cards the same way that you can chart a stock. You can chart them by sector, by index. We can go look at high end here, and we can see how an index of sports cards has done over the last year, the same way that you can with sports cards. So that being said, let's look at how this alternative market is performing and some key areas to focus on. So I'm going to give you two key areas today in the sports card market that I am going to call alternatives in the alternative investment market. I'm going to start with Topps Chrome Formula One, and the second one's going to be soccer, and I'm going to explain why. So both, the key here is that when you think of sports cards, they started with baseball cards, right? You always think of, people always used to call them, you collect the baseball cards, baseball card collection, baseball cards from the 50s. Then there was really not just baseball cards, but there was basketball, football, and hockey from that vintage era as well. And that kind of stayed to be the case for decades. And then in recent years, over say the past 10 to 15, the first soccer cards you ever see are the mid 2000s. And then in recent years, this has kind of peaked with about 4 to 6 years of where they've opened up to soccer and then UFC and now a little bit of Formula One. And so I'm going to explain that the key here to both Formula One and soccer being the key alternatives I would turn to in sports cards right now to focus on and profit from are Formula One and soccer, because they're both international sports. They're global sports with a lot of attention and big events coming up, right? So Formula One just kicked off again. This is only its first full season since the first ever licensed set of Formula One was out. So Topps came out with Topps Chrome Formula One in 2020, and now you can already see when their second issue came out, 2021 Topps Chrome. What I'm showing you right here is their hobby box, and it is number one on Sports Cards Investors sealed wax rankings. So I just opened to the app when I'm going to cover this topic. Number one, Topps Chrome Formula One. Number two, Topps Chrome Formula One hobby box, instead of being the light version, the regular version. But I would also say to focus quite a bit on the 2020 Topps Chrome, because it was the first ever licensed issue. So almost everybody in there is a rookie. That we don't know that much about the print run for 2021 yet. We still don't know a lot about the 2020 because of grading being so backed up. But even after having near a year of grading, there's still very low PSA pop counts and pop counts from other graders, right? So focus on that 2020 Topps Chrome. Go for the rookies. Go for Verstappen. Hamilton, who's going to be the GOAT. His prices are already elite. And then look at those others like Leclerc, who looks like Ferrari's going to be great this year, and they won a season opener. Magnussen, who's kind of a sleeper and dark horse, who got fifth, and he was just a rookie last year. So if we take a look at those, we go to cards. I've got Leclerc open for you. I would really try to get some of him before he goes too high. He has a chance to be the champion this year, right? Verstappen and Hamilton are going to be that rivalry, who are probably battling it out for 1, 2, or in the top 3 or 4. They're the top two teams known in the sport. But Ferrari suddenly has their cars run really nice this year. And keep in mind that all these guys are getting known, getting where people feel a personal connection to them. Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, and others, because of that Netflix show, Drive to Survive, that has really gained that sport popularity in the U.S. now. And now there's a big race in Miami this year. So if you go look at Leclerc, he has just skyrocketed. His raw cards, could have got them a month ago for under $20. They're already hitting 78, right, as an average. Now, you're not even seeing any charts or any PSA 10 grades. There's one PSA 10 that sold recently for 200 before the season opening race, and there's hardly any out of grading because people were not focusing on Leclerc. It was all Verstappen and Hamilton, and now they're seeing the other elite racers out of this Formula One that are now going to get attention. So there's another 2 or 3 guys to focus on. So Leclerc, let's go look at the results of the race and what it means, right? So the winner was Leclerc. Sorry, it reset on me. Looks like, yeah. If I go back to that race, you have Leclerc as the winner and Sainz. They're 2 young up and comers for Ferrari, 1 and 2. Now the Red Bull guys, Verstappen and Perez, also very popular. They had a bad day. Their cars failed at the end, so don't discount them. But Hamilton's going to be the GOAT, going to be battling for the championship this year. And his new, very young teammate, George Russell, is living up to the hype, getting 4th in his first race in the better cars. And then Magnussen, who was a rookie last year, suddenly gets 5th for Haas in the season opener. So those are 4 guys I would focus on right there, along with Verstappen and Perez. It's going to be a 3-team battle for the Red Bull team. And if we go back and look at some of these indexes and where I'm coming from, you can see that when you go to high end and some of these subsets that get all the focus and attention, high end has increased 40% over the last year when the market hasn't been that good because of a big correction. People got worried about overhype, overproduction. So if you go to the overall index, you're seeing that about a year ago it pretty much crashed from up near 30,000, and for about 6 months it's been a pretty flat line. But it's really just people deciding where to put their focus on their collecting and investing in the card market. And it's been high end, it's been alternative markets such as soccer and Formula One is where the money's starting to move to. So if you go look at soccer, could be a little bit late on soccer, doesn't have as much room to explode still as Formula One. But soccer has basically doubled in the last year. It was below 10,000, and it's now near 18,000. And in the next year, soccer has, right now, the last few weeks of World Cup qualifying, followed by Champions League, followed by the World Cup that is every 4 years. It's going to be intense. It's going to have global visibility and scrutiny and talked by the media. Look at those young stars for the U.S., McKennie and Pulisic, who are going to get attention on the global stage and are doing well on top European clubs, Juventus and Chelsea. And don't overlook soccer. So if you go look at what I'm buying here, I have been focused on Formula One with a little bit of baseball now that I think baseball was under scrutinized, under hyped because nobody expected baseball to be coming back as soon as it did. Some value football because it's off season, but really a lot of Formula One leading up to the Formula One season, and then some soccer of high-end names, high-end product where it's dual signature, only out of 15. So I would focus on Topps Chrome Formula One, especially 2020, a little bit of 2021, and then focus on soccer as it starts to really heat up towards the World Cup. Those are your alternative investment markets within the sports card industry that I would focus on right now. Please let me know your thoughts and your feedback, and let's talk more soon. Thanks, all.